What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for MLB Thursday, June 23rd. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's MLB slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 7-game slate today, so let's take a look at the pitcher position. So I like Clayton Kershaw pitching against the Cincinnati Reds. Clayton Kershaw pitches his best ball versus righty batters, only giving up a .561 OPS versus righties, and he's facing 8 righties here today. On top of that, the Reds have only hit 8 of his last 55 pitches. That's a 145 batting average. He's 10,300 FanDuel salary, 100 less on DraftKings, averaging 35 fantasy points per game on the season. He has an ERA of 2.08. His record is 4-1, pitching an average of 80 pitches per game. So I like Clayton Kershaw here versus the Cincinnati Reds. Okay, let's take a look at the catcher first base position. I like Luis Arraez with a 47% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Zach Plesac. Luis Arraez batting 33% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .869 OPS versus righties. Zach Plesac pitching his worst ball versus lefty batters, 14% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .833 OPS versus lefties. Luis Arraez is 3 for 8 with a .375 batting average and a .819 OPS versus Plesac. He's 3,200 FanDuel salary, 2,000 more on DraftKings, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season. Vegas thinks this is going to be a high-scoring game. 10 runs scored in this game. That's their over-under. And Luis Arraez has scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games. And he has a batting average of .355. So I like Luis Arraez here versus Zach Plesac. I also like Wilson Contreras and CJ Cron. Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. So here's a value play. I like Brendan Rodgers with a 29% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Braxton Garrett. Brendan Rodgers is batting 29% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .952 OPS versus lefties. Braxton Garrett giving up a .820 OPS versus righties. Brendan Rodgers is 1 for 1 versus Garrett. He's only 2,700 FanDuel salary, 1,300 more on DraftKings, averaging 9 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5 games. He has a batting average of .243. So I like Brendan Rodgers as a value play here versus Braxton Garrett. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And then we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Now I also like Brendan Donovan and Tommy Edman. Okay, let's take a look at the third base position. Here's another value play. I like Patrick Wisdom with a 55% batting advantage over Jose Quintana. Patrick Wisdom batting 9% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .854 OPS versus lefties. Jose Quintana, pitching his worst ball versus righty batters, 46% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .885 OPS versus righties. Now, Patrick Wisdom is 0 for 2 versus Quintana, but he's only $2,600 FanDuel salary, $1,000 more on DraftKings, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season. He's scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games. Now, he only has a batting average of .227, but I like the splits and I like the price tag, so I like Patrick Wisdom as a value play here versus Jose Quintana. Now, I also like Ke'Bryan Hayes. Okay, let's take a look at the shortstop position. I like Trey Turner. It's Trey Turner with a 25% batting advantage over Hunter Green. Trey Turner batting a .822 OPS versus righty pitchers. Hunter Green pitching his worst ball versus righty batters, 39% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .948 OPS versus righties. Trey Turner is 2 for 3 with a 2.334 OPS versus Green. One of those hits is for a home run. He's $3,900 FanDuel salary, $2,200 more on DraftKings, averaging 12 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games. He has a batting average of .307. So I like Trey Turner here versus Hunter Green. Now, I also like Brendan Donovan. I think I may have mentioned him already at the second base position. He's also eligible at the shortstop position. And Willie Adames doesn't look too bad either. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. But let's take a look at the outfield position. I like Ian Happ. I think he's in a good spot and he's been on fire, scoring fantasy points in all 5 of his last games. Only $3,200 FanDuel salary and only $300 more on DraftKings. So I like Ian Happ. And I also like Brian Reynolds. And he's batting, has a 24% batting advantage over Justin Steele. Brian Reynolds batting a .820 OPS versus lefties. Justin Steele pitching his worst ball versus switch hitters, 26% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .882 OPS versus switch hitters. Brian Reynolds is 1 for 4 here versus Steele. He's only $2,900 FanDuel salary, $1,500 more on DraftKings, averaging 9 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games. He has a batting average of .259, so I like Brian Reynolds here versus Justin Steele. Now here's another value play. I like Jonathan Daza with a 21% batting advantage over the low salary pitcher Braxton Garrett. Jonathan Daza batting 22% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .846 OPS versus lefties. Braxton Garrett giving up a .820 OPS versus righties. And Jonathan Daza is 1 for 2 versus Garrett. He's only $2,400 FanDuel salary, $900 more on DraftKings, averaging 7 fantasy points per game on the season, but he's been on fire, scoring fantasy points in all 5 of his last games, and he has a batting average of .330. So I think this is a fantastic value play. So I like Jonathan Daza here versus Braxton Garrett. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.